So what we got here is a common failure of the oil filter housing gasket on an N52 engine, which is used in most of the BMW E90 sedans, along with the E70 X5s and the E60 5 Series. Anyway, common engine. What can happen with these, if you want to come over here, the oil filter housing gasket will leak, which is up here, which we'll get a picture of later, and it leaks onto the serpentine belt. When the serpentine belt gets oil on it, it swells up. When it swells up, it falls behind the crankshaft pulley and will actually get pulled in through the crank seal into the timing chain and oil chain area and plug up the oil pickup. So if you look over here, all of this is from the serpentine belt, which was inside the oil pan. And when it gets in the oil pan, this oil pickup gets plugged up with this debris. And so when the belt falls behind this is how it gets wrapped up into the crank seal and pulled into the engine. So a relatively simple fix of an oil filter housing gasket turns into a lot of money, because as you can see, we have to take off the oil pan and replace the torn up crank seal and try and get all of this out of the engine before it causes damage by low oil pressure. So to replace an oil filter housing or an oil cooler gasket preventatively is much cheaper than if the belt gets oil soaked, falls off, wrapped up, and pulled into the engine. So that's what Sean's working on here today. It does require subframe removal and oil pan removal, which adds a lot of money to the repair. So that's why whenever we see these leaking, we recommend to do them preventatively. It's probably 20% of the cost as if it gets to this point. And that's assuming that it doesn't blow up the engine because there's no oil pressure.